Hello and welcome to another episode of Unboxing Women, where we explore the gender gap in the music and entertainment industry. If you're active in the music business, an independent artist, a musician, or are just curious about how it all works, then this pod is for you. My name is Mikey Rose, and with me is my friend Dana Rex. We are both independent recording artists based in Europe, and we are here to reveal what really goes on behind the scenes. You can listen to us on our YouTube channel and on your favorite podcast platform. Welcome back. Or
welcome.
If you're new here, welcome. So, we've got a topic today that we have been sitting on for a while.
Yes.
What do we do now? So,
what do we do now?
I don't know if you're familiar with this, but it's kind of a trope that women in movies or also in books, just women in general in fiction, seem to never know what to do.
Yeah.
In crisis situations, which is
said no
pretty
woman
hilarious
ever.
to us.
You know,
yeah.
they teach in the UK. They teach children to, you know, if there's a problem, to go to a woman because she'll know what to do. So why do they do that? What do we do now? So let's discuss. This actually came about because Reese Witherspoon, who is an actor, but also a director and a producer and everything a woman can be in the film industry, she brought this to light. And I actually have a little clip of a bunch of movies that we've probably all seen where you can see what we mean. So shall I play this now? Shall we start off with that?
It. Yes.
All right.
What do we do? What do we do now?
So what do we do now?
What do we do now?
What are we gonna do?
What do we do? What do we do now? What do we do now?
Smile.
What do we do?
What do we do?
What do we do now? So what do we do now? What do we do now?
So what do we do now?
Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Yes, that's very interesting. What do we do now, Micah?
Well, I found it interesting that a lot of the clips were also animated.
Yeah.
It's not just something that they think of in terms of just general human beings, but it's apparently something that pulls through animation as well, which is so weird.
And also we talked about this in our episodes about Disney princesses, heroes and villains, that a lot of times in the Disney movies, the princess is her own hero, basically.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So why would she not know what to do? Of course, the Frozen one is the one we just missed. But then again, you know, why always ask the guy? I mean, to be fair, just to bring that back to the princesses episode. So we didn't review Frozen. And Frozen is basically, well, along with maybe the later Disney princess movies, is one where the guy is always present. So Snow White, for example, she's always alone. And in, I think it's The Princess and the Frog, the guy is always there.
Yeah.
In Aladdin, there's always Jasmine and Aladdin. But it's not throughout the rest, all the other movies. Like Mulan, she's alone a lot, so then she can't really ask, what do we do now, right? So it's not in all the movies, but yeah, I was surprised to see also Toy Story here, and this is not the only one. So Toy Story, it's the cowgirl in Toy Story 3, I think. She's asking Buzz Lightyear, what do we do now? Obviously, he has all the superpowers and he can fly. So I guess that's why she's asking him, or that's why they thought it was a good idea.
He can't fly, though.
He can't fly. Right. No. He can't. He thinks he can.
Yeah, but he can't.
Nice pointing that out. Thank you. No, yeah. And I actually had a look at that. And, you know, Mrs. Potato Head, she says it every time. She's like, oh, what do we do now? She never, you know, she's so helpless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It kind of reminded me of the girl in Alien. The girl that goes all hysterical and cries
Yeah.
and panics and stuff, where we were like, because we reviewed Alien a while back in another episode, and
in
I
season
was like,
3. I'll put it in the show notes. I'll put in the show notes which episode it was.
Yeah, because it's insane, because it's just it you see it and you think, this is not reality. Who writes this shit?
Exactly. Yeah, it was annoying to us then as well.
Yeah.
To have a woman like she's blubbering and not, she's just not coherent. And I get it. There's an alien after you. And yes, I would be in a panic too. But I mean, she just falls apart.
Yeah. It's insane.
She's an astronaut, by the way, huh? So she's like trained. She's like up in some spaceship where it's super dangerous to just be living, and she's been living there for like years in some cryosleep state. This woman is not just any woman, okay? And then, Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. So what Reese Witherspoon was actually doing is showing us in a speech of hers that this line, when it's written into a script, that she just hates it. Basically, she gets she
dreads reading them.
She dreads it. Yeah. And that's what she was actually talking about in a speech. And that's why this went around the world, this little clip with all of the times that women say, what do we do now? And so besides Mrs. Potato Head in Toy Story, in all the Toy Stories, I have found some more what do we do nows. I basically watch a lot of thrillers and disaster movies, and I found it in San Andreas. I will post this on our socials, actually, so everyone can see it, because I filmed my TV because it's so hilarious. So you have The Rock, who's playing the guy who he is a savior though, because he flies a rescue helicopter. So it's not just anyone. Yes, I know. And then there's his ex-wife who he goes and rescues. She just like came off of the top of a building in LA, which just crumbled to the ground underneath her feet. She climbs into the helicopter with basically not a scratch on her, and then she's the one asking him, what do we do now? When her daughter, again, spoiler, obviously watch the movie before you listen to us talk about it. But they're going to have to go and rescue their daughter, who is in San Francisco and who is trapped like in a garage. If you're a mother and you're in a rescue helicopter with your ex-husband, who is The Rock, then you don't ask, what do we do now? You just shout to him and say, get the chopper to there and let's go get her. And right?
Exactly.
That's what you do, because you would form an idea and you would say, can we go with this chopper? Can we just do that? You wouldn't just sit there. What do we do now?
No.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Oh my God. It's such an annoying phrase. It's like, no. Like, when has it ever happened? Like, honestly, ask yourselves, when has it ever happened that a woman turns around to you and says, oh my God, I have no idea what we're going to do. Like, what are we going to do now? Unless it's like, I'm not talking about where are we going to go for dinner? Because we all know that's an awful question that nobody ever knows an answer to.
Exactly.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about crisis situations. I'm talking about, even things like where people have to improvise, where it's like, oh God, I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Women are not going to go like, oh my God, what do we do now? They're going to be like, all right, well, you have 3 options. You have option A, option B, option C, and they entail this, 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 and this. And then they're like, choose one, but choose one now because you need to get fucking going. Like it's that you're never going to have somebody be like, oh my God, I don't know, I can't help you. But like, women aren't like that.
When have you, Micah, ever turned to a guy and said, what do we do now? Unless it was like, you're off somewhere and I mean, in a crisis situation, not like which restaurant are we going to? Exactly like you're saying, like that doesn't count. Or like,
No,
oh,
doesn't.
you know, you're 16 and you've just been kissing behind the church, and and you're kind of done, and in a quarter of an hour you actually need to go home, and like, okay, what do we do now? That doesn't count. Like crisis shit, you know.
Yeah,
When have you ever
yeah.
asked a man what to do next in your life?
Well, I can't remember a time. I don't know if I've been in that many crisis situations, to be fair, but I mean, no, I have actually, and I've never actually asked, oh my God, what do we do now?
Have you
Because
ever
I've
not
always
known
been
what
like,
to do?
okay,
Yeah, exactly.
I need to call these people. I need to call this. Actually, once I was, it was the middle of the night, and I had a flat tire, and I don't know how to change a tire. I know you know how to change a tire. You need to teach me. I don't know how to change a tire. I didn't know we had an extra tire in that van. It was like an entire thing. It was 2:00 in the morning. I was tired. I'd come from a bar shift. I was in the middle of the road. I called my mum, and I was like,
you called your
I
mom.
don't know what to do. I called my mum. I did not call my dad. I called my mum.
You see? You see?
I was like, I don't know what to do. The insurance, like, and she was like, oh, there's insurance papers in the car. And you call that number. And I was like, the number doesn't work. I've called the number. And then like she looked up a different number, and then I called that number and stuff. You know, like, but I called my mum.
You called your mom because she knows what to do.
Yeah, because I don't know if my dad knows what to do. Like, I don't know if he knows what insurance we have. He probably doesn't. Like, he came and picked me up. They both did because it didn't work.
Probably because your mom said, we need to go and pick her up. I don't think your mom turned to your dad and said,
what do we do now?
She's out there with a flat tire. What do we do now? That's very unlikely. Please, Micah mom, please comment below and tell us what you did. Oh God. Definitely. I can tell you. I can tell you straight away, I have never turned to a guy and said, what do we do now? I've had men look at me, full of expectation, that when I said, hey, dude, you can't expect me to bring all the answers every time. You need to figure some shit out for yourself.
Oh, I've said that so many times.
You see, so that has happened, but there was never a time when there was an actual crisis situation where I wasn't the one solving the actual problem. Mm-hmm. I've actually even helped someone who had a heart attack and who fell over on their face. So who had had not even just the heart attack and then fell over, but then hurt themselves while falling over. So I was there while the company that was there was made up of 2 or even 3 men, I think, all adults. And I'm like, get out of my way. And so I went to help, and I had to actually look up in the first 5 seconds and call out to them and just say, you call the ambulance. You get me some water and some towels. You do this. I had to do that because they were frozen. Yeah. So my boyfriend always says, you never know what's going to happen in a crisis situation until you're actually in one, if you're the one that freezes or not. But I know for a fact that I'm not the one who freezes, but I haven't seen that of a lot of women, to be honest. Should we have a look at what Reese said?
Definitely.
I think we are in a cultural crisis. In every field and every industry, women are underrepresented and underpaid in leadership positions. And the reason we're all talking about it tonight, under 5% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies are women. Only 19% of Congress is women. No wonder we don't have the health care we deserve, or paid family leave, or public access to early childhood education. And that really worries me. How can we expect legislation with our rights and our needs being preserved if we don't have equal representation? So here's my hope. If you're in politics, the media, the tech industry, working as an entrepreneur or a teacher or a construction worker or a caregiver, you know the problems we are all facing. And I urge each one of you to ask yourselves, what do we do now? That's a big question. What is it in your life that you think you cannot accomplish? Or what is it that people have said that you cannot do? Wouldn't it feel really good to prove them all wrong?
Applause.
Because I believe ambition is not a dirty word. It's just believing in yourself and your abilities. Imagine this. What would happen if we were all brave enough to believe in our own ability, to be a little bit more ambitious? I think the world would change. Thank you.
In general, the speech, I mean, I've listened to the bits before it as well, were just really interesting. I think it was really eye-opening. We all know that we're underrepresented as women. I think we still don't understand on a daily level how much it impacts us on a daily level. You know, you know, oh, there's the gender pay gap, there's the gender data gap, there's, you know, all these things. You're underrepresented. Obviously, you've also got this for minorities, etc. But you don't realize that in your day-to-day, small things could change and big things could change if we were represented the way that we should be.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I think it's really great of her to come out with this and to, you know, make us realize these things. They influence us. You know, watching movies influences a lot of people because Hollywood movies are out there for the whole world to watch. And then when a majority of men are writing the scripts or playing the parts, and then all the women are saying to each other or to the men, what do we do now? It basically, you know, that's what we said also in our Disney episodes. Yeah. Does it not breed the vicious circle? Does it not just perpetuate the whole thing?
It's one of those things where it's the source of and the expression of internalized misogyny, because it's basically influencing us on tiny degrees every day that we see these things, the things that we don't even realize. It's like, actually, I've got a recent thing that happened to one of my friends where I witnessed her saying something in a completely normal tone of voice, and the man whom she was directing this at saying, oh, you don't have to shout at me, or something like, stop shouting at me. And I sat there and I didn't know this man, so I was like, I don't know if this is humor, but this is triggering me. Because she didn't react to it at all. She just took it in stride. She was just like, oh, this is normal.
Was she shouting though?
She was not. She was talking in a completely normal tone of voice. She hadn't raised her voice at all. She was telling him something he maybe didn't want to hear.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of the same thing where it's like something that we think, oh yeah, oh, it's just, you know, it's just his humor. It's just kind of a joke, you know. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's offensive.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same with the what do we do now? Like making women seem small and seem like they cannot cope in crisis situations, when actually the countries that have had a woman at the top, like a woman chancellor or a woman president, have been some of the most most industrious and
prosperous and successful countries.
Countries. And like even in New Zealand, when they were like, oh, but she's pregnant. A pregnant woman can't be. You know, this was a while ago. I don't know if this is still the chancellor right now, but there was a debate about whether a woman who's pregnant can or cannot lead a country, because they were like, oh, she's hormonal. You know, what if she like breaks off a nuclear war while she's hormonal?
Yes, because that's something we would do.
Exactly. We're like, oh my God, the Chancellor of Korea like said something really mean to me. I'm gonna start a war now.
Yes, exactly. That's definitely something that we would do like in a second if I have a hot flush.
Oh my God, yes.
What?
So
look at Trump. He nearly did that,
my God.
and he's not a woman.
No, he's a
and he's
child,
not
though.
pregnant.
No, he's a child. The thing is, though, right? I think to be fair, Trump is very calculating, and I think a lot of people underestimate him, and like saying he's a child is underestimating him as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Well, let me give another example. Putin.
Yeah.
Putin nearly did that. He's not a pregnant woman.
no.
No, it's true, and I think it's really great what Reese did here is just make us aware, bring this to the public, what they're actually doing in movies, and now. Obviously, when I watch a movie, it's like,
so subtle.
There it is again. Oh,
Yeah.
and in San Andreas, it's twice. It's
Yeah.
not just the one time. It's twice. Totally at the end, they're like looking over the river with everything is destroyed, right? So there's Golden Gate Bridge, which is like completely nowhere to be seen anymore. And then an American flag unfurls and she looks to him with adoring eyes and says, "What now?" And then he looks to the flag and he says, "We rebuild." What? What the fuck, dudes? Can you really stop?
My
stop
God.
writing this cliche bullshit.
Yes. And I'm sorry. That's not just like man-woman cliche bullshit. That's like American cliche bullshit. Maybe you don't want to rebuild it because it wasn't that great to begin with.
You built
I
on a
seriously
fault
doubt
line
it.
of the Earth's crust, dudes. Can please don't do that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. No, I think it's really good that she kind of raised awareness, and I think it's been far too long. I think because this was in 2016.
I don't.
It's been a
remember when this
while.
is. Let me check. I have it here somewhere. When was this? November 9th, 2015. So yes.
2015.
So it's been a while. But I
Yeah.
mean, to be totally honest,
Nothing has changed.
no. Yeah. And next to a little bit of hubbub and buzz at the time, nothing has changed at all.
Yeah.
She's done a great job with her company, and she's brought some films out that were very successful, which she actually talks about in her speech. So she did before the speech, and she hasn't stopped since, but nothing has really changed that much, which is a shame.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us what you think, everyone, about all of this.
Let us know if you have movies that you know
Yeah.
that this happens in.
Besides the one that you heard or saw in the clip that we had on, I will put it in the show notes so you can have a look at it. And yeah, let us know if you find another movie, a recent movie with this in, or if you've ever had something in a crisis situation where if you're a woman, you didn't know what to do and you did turn to a man. And in that case, please do elaborate. Or if you're a man and if every woman in a crisis situation turns to you and asks you, and then please please also tell us what you said to do.
Because mostly it's like, I don't know, why are you asking me?
I don't know. Maybe men do know what to do. I don't know, because I'd never asked. That's all for today. So thank you for tuning into Unboxing Women. And if you've ever had an experience like we just asked you, that you want to share with us, send us a DM, tag us in your posts with the hashtag suchabitch, or send us an email on suchabitch@unboxingwomen.com. I have the banner. I keep forgetting to put the banner. Here we go. Don't forget to drop us a like on Instagram or wherever you're listening to us now. And my name is Dana Rex, and I've been chatting with Micah Rose. Tune into another episode of Unboxing Women next week. See you then. Bye.